Man with the buns. Sorry. Go ahead, Brad. Do your thing. Do the magic.
The magic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see if I can still do that.
And he screwed up.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the YouTube Shop Talk, quote-unquote, podcast. We still don't have a name. Give your suggestions. I'm here joined by Weasel from WeaselZone. How you doing?
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Weasel, as Brad mentioned before. I have a gaming channel, and I do all kinds of strategy games and indie games on my channel, and sometimes silly reviews of hardware or stupid shit I find at a dollar store. So, yeah.
And lots of boxes of things.
Boxes, yes. Unboxing, too. Love it. It's great.
Plenty of very attractive face cam as well.
Thank you.
If I do say so myself. Wait. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that person who is himself is Josh from GamingFTL.
Hello. I do indie games. That's my thing on YouTube. Basically, I find the weird stuff. That's currently my job. I find the odd stuff that the other people would go, hang on, wait, what? And then don't cover. And then I'm like, hang on, wait.
Yeah. And you have a wonderful mustache.
I have no idea what that meant.
Well,
I lost track.
That's probably the worst description of my channel I've ever done. But basically,
you have a fascination with mushrooms right now, right?
Huh?
You have a fascination with mushrooms right now?
Oh, yeah. I literally just finished recording my Let's Play of Mushroom 11, which is a lovely game with horrible puzzles. And I finished that today, and I'm going to be uploading that over the next week. And at the moment, that's my Let's Play thing. I'm gonna be uploading a whole bunch of different kind of things, and I think that's something I want to talk about over the podcast. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Topics are good. It's a good thing to have.
We like content. Content is king.
Hashtag content is good.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have anything to talk about, we're fucked.
I feel you're not talking about your wonderful mustache.
Oh, well, it's pretty good. I recently discovered that because a barber chopped off the whiskers and then they regrew, they look really, really good when they're shorter. So I've trimmed it today, and I'm feeling good about myself.
Very good.
And that's always nice. Feel good about yourself, people. Make sure
you deserve it.
So that's Josh.
Yeah. Hi.
He's starting a cosmetic channel soon.
Josh does makeup. That's all I got.
Yeah, I do fashion. I do a fashion indie game channel.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's good.
I do it. No, wait. Those Flash games where you dress up the characters from Frozen. That's all of my videos.
Are they the creepy games or the real games?
The less creepy games. Dragas does the creepy games.
Dre has all the creepy games. I'm afraid to click his videos.
And I'm joined by Dragas from Dragas.
He's quiet today.
Yeah,
very quiet.
Fourth wheel with a muted mic. And I'm Brett from SirCrest. I do right now not much. I've been spending so much time researching stuff for a new video, so I haven't really posted anything except this podcast. So I guess I do podcasts, and occasionally I'm really unfair to indie games. So,
didn't you do the whole Black Shell Media week?
Which I would love to do, like a postmortem. Postmortem? What the? Postmortem. Right? That's the word.
Postmortem.
A horse bloatum.
A horse modem. Which is what the Amish use.
It's currently what the entirety of the UK internet is running on.
They're transporting packets.
Actual parcels.
Yes, actual packets.
Twine and brown paper.
Here's your internet for the day. It's like, yay.
I've been waiting for this.
It's a Polaroid of a cat.
That would have been great. You get just like a few pages of, I don't know, images, some cat pictures, and some weird news articles. Yeah.
Oh, that is definitely a subscription service we should set up.
Yes, internet subscription box. You just get a book with super random stuff from the internet.
Internet by mail. Memes by mail. Oh my God.
What about people that live all the way in the wasteland? No, I don't know, in forests, like hermits that kind of want to catch up to the dank memes that are out there and want to get their load of Pepe. So
the dankest of
the
memes.
dankest of memes, yes.
Anywho, this podcast was originally designed sort of like chats about behind the scenes sort of YouTube. So from people that run channels, either semi-full-time or full-time, and it makes up a pretty big part of their life. Weasel, you do YouTube as a full-time job?
I'm pretty much spending all my day on YouTube now. Yes, I'm pretty much doing it full-time. It's like a borderline thing because you kind of got to pay the bills with it, but it kind of works out right now. So I'm focusing on that while trying to pursue other projects. But yeah, I'm one of these people that I guess quotation marks made it. So, hi.
You're a developer as well, right?
Yeah, I do apps. I couldn't only do YouTube. I need something else. As much as I love doing YouTube, it would drive me silly. I need another outlet. Even though YouTube is creative, like only doing one thing never worked for me. So I always need a different outlet. Otherwise I get crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's generally what kind of the idea was behind this thing. We want to talk about kind of what goes on behind the scenes. And if there isn't anything to talk about, like for the most part, for this show, we talk about games we played. Because a lot of us, in some form, quote unquote, review games. To a certain extent. So
there's a lot to talk about YouTube. I don't think people realize how much time YouTubers spend on and off YouTube. Like, even if you're not doing videos, we are in a chat where we're pretty much talking to other YouTubers and we're reading about YouTube, and we have our social media that is connected to YouTube. We pretty much, when you do YouTube, you spend an insane amount of time on it. It's a not well-paying job.
For the hours you put in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
Even if you're making living wage, it's certainly not $7.25 an hour. If
I made it for the money, I would definitely. If I was looking for the money, I would probably think about getting a real job that makes more money.
Yeah,
quote unquote real job.
Yeah, I mean, it is still a job. I should not put our own like kind of
more traditional
job, exactly, like an employee-employer relationship. That's what I'm meaning. Like I would become a coder or web designer or something that gives me an actual paycheck for even if I screw up at work or not.
Because that's a stable income.
Well, ideally, but then again, you could be fired anytime soon. So
yes. Or or you could be a freelancer. I don't know.
It's like having your own business. Having your YouTube channel is like having your own business. You're gonna put an insane amount of time at the beginning at a loss in the hopes that you grow and eventually become a sustaining business.
Almost in a sense, it's actually the worst of both worlds. It's the downsides of a cell phone business and the downsides of being employed because you're relying on another platform.
That is true. That's true. Yeah, you're kind of at the whims of it.
No one makes your channel for you, pretty much.
Yeah.
You have to make it, but then also you're relying on so many of these other factors to be successful. So, with that out of the way, welcome to the show. And I didn't think we had much to talk about as far as YouTube because we spent a lot of time on YouTube Red. But speaking of YouTube Red, not to spend an hour on it, but we finally got a couple days ago analytics for YouTube Red.
Oh yeah, really? They're really exciting.
Really? Did we?
Well, you can see it in your earnings report.
Oh yeah, right. They're super. Yeah, I don't understand them. It's a number. It's like, okay, thank you, YouTube. It's great,
and it's very cryptic because you can't say to somebody, "Oh, it's this CPM or it's this RPM," because it's just a completely different. Because for people who don't know, when you're doing YouTube for years and years and years, you just think in terms of CPMs and RPM and revenue per 1,000 views. And then suddenly, when you have revenue that's based upon your watch time, which is a share of this whole like global pool of stuff,
it's quite
so
literally
wishy-washy.
a global pool as well.
Yeah,
it's massive.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It's just like, okay, here's your YouTube Red income now. Thank you, YouTube. I don't understand how many people that made up. Like, that would be a really interesting number. Like, how many people do these earnings represent? Is that like 100? And I would be like, wow, that's impressive. Or would it be like, this is 10,000? I'm just like, okay, this is not that cool anymore. It makes a big difference. Like, if I tell you I make $10 on it for 100,000 people, that's nothing. If I tell you I make $10 on it on 100 people, it's amazing. So I still don't know what to think of it.
Because it is so different in how you think about it. It's not views, but it's also not an absolute number because it's a share. It's the percentage, the watch time that you get is a percentage of this whole, like we said, a global pool of minutes and stuff. So
since you spent an hour on it last podcast, apparently I don't listen to podcasts sometimes. Is it watch time or is it views?
It's watch time.
It's watch time because YouTube has overall just transferred to watch time as a metric. Not even. Yeah. I don't think it even bothers with views anymore, does it?
It's sort of just for the public, typically.
Yeah,
it's still a nice metric. I mean, it's just like when people say, "Oh, I have 1 million subscribers." It's like it gives you a sense of size and scale, even though it doesn't really translate to much. It's a correlation, right?
Yeah.
Same with views. Like a lot of views correlates with a lot of watch time, a lot of traffic. Like you wouldn't say to Sai that his Gangnam Style video didn't get any traffic, because obviously it did. But you don't know. But like, the views don't correlate as much as they used to. So
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop myself there.
The only thing about YouTube Red that I'm not currently clear on is whether if you get watched by a person that has YouTube Red, or if you don't get watched by anyone who has YouTube Red, does that make literally any difference to how much money you make from YouTube Red?
Yeah, YouTube Red is paid on the watch time from YouTube Red subscribers.
Oh, okay. So the watch time for those people is separate to the watch time for all the other commoners.
Right. That makes it slightly more fair.
Yeah.
Because the alternative is like for instance, if you had, I mean, we always point to PewDiePie because he's the biggest. He's an icon, and people know that he's watched a lot. So we'll use him as an example. So let's say, he has like 40 million subscribers and gets millennia of watch time the moment he posts a video. And so if no YouTube Red subscribers watched him, that would be extremely unfair if he received YouTube Red income simply because he had a lot of watch time. And so from all the information that I've read, it seems very logical that the money is paid out based upon the watch time of those YouTube Red subscribers.
Even from their statement, pretty much, because you're supporting directly the content creators that you watch. So if it would be distributed amongst anyone, everyone would have like a similar curve. The curve would be identical, just different, I guess, size to a degree. I don't know.
But if it was done by just overall watch time, that could really. No, it couldn't be. It would be extremely unfair.
Yes.
Because the money, like if I pay $10 a month and my $5.50 share, let's say I watch, Dragast, I watch Josh and Weasel, just 'cause you guys are here. If I watch you guys for a month, but then nearly all my money goes to a lot of these top channels because they have this huge watch time, that's not fair. Right?
Yeah. No, it is not.
That's cool.
And so with it being just YouTube Red subscribers, it sort of makes that watch metric more accurate, I guess, based upon where it should go. So it's not great. It'd be awesome if it was like, oh, I subscribe to YouTube Red, but I only watch channel A, channel B, and channel C, and so my $5.50 is split between them. But that'd be a huge that'd be really difficult to compute, I would imagine, like each individual person's watch time splitting off to the channels that they watch instead of it going to one big pot,
Yeah. I mean, it took him some time to compute all of this. Apparently, there was a huge delay in the stats.
Mm-hmm.
Still is. They come in way later now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what's changed, I guess, since last week. We did get some information on the back end, but it's still really vague, so it's not really worth discussing much more than that.
Yeah, it's not helpful.
So Josh, you had mentioned that you were interested in talking about a topic for YouTube.
Yeah. Content strategies overall, like as a plan for the future, a plan for the present, and you measuring that against past successes and failures is what I am currently thinking about. I don't know whether you've gone through a phase. Well, I assume you have because you're on YouTube, where things just kind of level out at a very low comparative to previous months. They just kind of level out a low baseline, which is fine, I guess, but it's not ideal for growth. So at the moment, I'm thinking about
the
my
antithesis
content.
of growth.
Absolutely. Stagnation. And I'm currently thinking about what I'm making, how I'm making it, and how that affects my growth. I mean, overall, if I make something that's awful, then people won't be interested in it. But I'm hopefully at a point where I'm past that. So weighing up the amount of time I put into things and the output is also a part of that, because a lot of the time, if you put a lot of time into a project, it's the last like 10% of polish that goes into a video or literally whatever you're making. The last 10% is the hardest and longest part of it. And if you think about it, the people that would appreciate that last 10% may end up being minimal. I mean, you've got to weigh that up for either your audience or like the amount of time you have spare. But the last 10% of polish you put into something can make you spend an extra week on something, and it doesn't gain you anything extra. And
Right.
Correct.
so with a full-time job like I have, I'm basically reduced to a single Let's Play series at a time with minimal editing. I won't say no editing, because there is some that goes into it, and making sure that the actual recording goes well.
Yeah.
But
Kind of the minimum you need for it to be a video itself.
Yeah, to be happy with the thing you have made. And so I'm in a place where I can start to use the spare time that I do have, try and use it effectively so that I am experimenting, but also providing things for my subscribers that they can connect with and interact with, and let me know how they feel about, without too many drops in communication. And at the moment, my strategy has deteriorated from creating a single large topic video. So I did one on pixel art, I did one on roguelikes, I did one on video game music.
And those are really good.
Yeah, but they took a ton of time for research and editing and creation, which ended up being like a month. I mean, it shouldn't have been a month's worth of work because I was lazy. But that's
sometimes
how it ended
you
up.
have to factor in motivation a lot of times.
Yeah.
I can work really well. At least for me, I can work really hard if I'm motivated, and that comes in sort of waves and stuff. So a lot of times a project doesn't need to take that long if only I was focused. But I'm kind of waiting on that drive to sort of happen so that I can spend 12 hours in that video straight and get it done.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that works really well when it's crunch time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Personally, those videos were made at a time when I didn't actually have a job, so I had plenty of spare time, but I was spending the spare time on other things like socializing, having
That's
a life.
important. Yeah.
and also making the other parts of my content strategy, which were Let's Plays and kind of one-off review impression style videos of games, which worked really well for me. But now with my limited time, I've had to cut that back to either doing lots of one-off impressions videos, which both take some research time, not like a minimal amount of research time compared to the single large video, which I still want to do, but I don't have time for anymore. And then the Let's Plays, which are just normally the very bog standard, like blind Let's Plays, which I have a lot of fun with. So all of those things together are things I've had to balance, and now I've come to the end of a Let's Play. Like I said, Mushroom 11's finished now, so I'm in a position where I can pick and choose what I'm up to, and yeah, I'm going to start experimenting with the things I've done before and trying out new stuff with both with other people and on my own. So yeah, what have you been thinking about or have had to think about with regards to that? That's a whole mess of stuff I just dumped in your lap. I realize that.
But I totally sympathize.
No, it's fine. I remember those times too. It's not that is very understandable what you're facing. I do not make enough money on YouTube to put like full-time effort into it, and if I don't put that full-time effort into it, I'm not getting as many views as I would usually. It's a mean way. You can only do so much at once, but I think that one way to work around this is to figure out a way to work smarter, not harder. I hate saying that, but if you, for example, if your Let's Play series, maybe you can try to have an easier way of recording like in a bunch on OBS, so you have one finished file and then uploading the whole thing, just to have like a Let's Play series running and giving you a little bit more room to work on your bigger videos maybe at the same time if you still want to do these. But yeah. It's when you're smaller, it's mean because sometimes videos just don't get views, especially Let's Play series. They trail off, even for me, they trail off after the first 2 or 3 episodes. They trail off pretty hard because people lose interest or just are not following anymore. I mean, you're asking people to watch every day or every few days a video of like 20 minutes length, and sometimes they forget or watch somewhere else, or whatever the reason is, they trail off, and that can be very frustrating. But that stuff that is on your channel, it will generate views just very slowly, and that can be frustrating.
Yeah, it's the long tail of content.
Yeah,
that's what Let's Plays are probably. You either post a video on a game on launch, and you obviously get viral views, or it's long tail or kind of views that just pile up over time. That can really make a difference. Like on a lot of my early Let's Plays, when I first started my current channel, things like episodes like Mirror's Edge or Metro 2033 or even some old mods, by now those have like 20,000 views on the first video. And that was a terrible quality video using fraps. I had a really noisy room. And I put like 1/10 the amount of time into that video that I do into my current videos. But because that had been around a lot longer, it got traffic, but also it was probably less competitive of a search term back in 2011.
Yeah. What I remember from my time, like my first big video was, I would say, Sinking Simulator. That was the first video where I'm like, over time now, I have like 161,000 views on there. It definitely trailed off, but it still gets 5,000 views a month. I mean, and I made that video in May 2013. And that thing is like, it was a one-off thing that took 9 minutes to make. I did not edit the beginning or just an XSplit, recorded the whole thing, uploaded it, and even the thumbnail was shitty. I just got lucky with that. And that is a big part. You got to be at the right place at the right time, and then the video hits. What you don't see around this, and that is what you're experiencing, I think, Josh, or I mean, a lot of YouTubers experience, not only Josh, I would say like 90% of YouTubers, is you make videos and you get like 20 views on them, maybe 10. I have series on my channel that's still like all of these horror let's plays, like Dimension, Amnesia, custom maps, custom mods, or whatever. They were like a little bit bigger 2 years ago. They are horrible. I do not want to look at them. They're still there, but they don't get any views. They still sit at like 50 views, and I never want to be reminded of them. And then all of a sudden there's a video there that has 161,000 views in there. You don't know when that hits. So I feel as a smaller channel, of course you can try to you can only do like the high quality videos, and once one of them hits viral, all these high quality videos that you will have will follow. People will want to watch more. If you have one interesting video about, let's say, low poly art, and that goes viral, all of a sudden these like high quality videos you created, they will like pick that up too, because that's interesting. I like this guy. Let's see what else he has.
Yeah.
And you get more views. So
I do happen to have one about low quality art.
I know. That's why I mentioned that. But once they will then catch on these views, so the work, like even if a video that you put a lot of effort in doesn't get a lot of views, chances are that later on, if you like hit a good video or like a good time or a good just moment to release a video, that these videos will pick up too. So that is something to keep in mind. That's why I think one super important thing on YouTube is to just stay consistent. To just even if the video doesn't do super well, just keep trying. And channels like me, I just spammed content. I mean, I didn't necessarily spam it, but I didn't have a job at that time, and I made videos, and I kind of ended up making 4 videos a day. Most, I would say like 90% of those videos were useless, but they're the 10% in there that like kind of gain some traction. Like old adventure games do really great with a long tail because people will keep looking them up and not a lot of people cover them. Those are doing well, and like this baseline you're talking about, this very low baseline you have, that increases with every big video you put out there. It spikes and it goes down again. I've been witnessing that for the 3rd time on my channel now, where it is on a low baseline again, but that baseline is higher each time you grow a little bit. So whatever I wanted to say with that is, I have no idea what I wanted to say with that. I wanted to just share my thought on the whole thing.
Definitely. I think you touched on some pretty important stuff there, like consistency. And I think especially with Let's Play fits, and this is why it's so popular along with music on YouTube. Let's Play fits the YouTube search and ranking algorithms so well that consistency and just persistence overall it will do quite well in the long term.
Yeah.
If you time your stuff correctly, you might not get the top ranking video ever, but you'll maybe be on the first page, which is very important.
Timing is. I can't over exaggerate how important timing is and how little people care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge hypocrite about that.
Oh, me too. I mean, I know that, but sometimes you gotta be a hypocrite. I mean, sorry if I'm interrupting you. I have this issue right now where I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. That game is many years old.
And you're talking one of the originals, not the new one.
No. Yeah, exactly. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, the third one, obviously.
The 3D one for those who didn't play it.
Thank you. And the one that is still made by the original team, but I'm trailing off. That is not a game. No. Bullfrog was theme park. I forgot what they're called. They're actually working on another roller coaster tycoon park, the original studio. The one that Atari is releasing is actually a different team. So just throwing that out there.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, please do. I do that all the time. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, actually, you would say like, okay, that's an old game that releasing it now will probably not get you a lot of views. And yes, it did not, but I'm surprised to see like people really like the video. And for me, it's just, it's very refreshing to just play a game that I like playing. And sometimes if you only go for videos, for the right timing, only do videos that are just like games that are out, it will be good for growth, but it can also be very frustrating to just like on the minute the game gets released, you try to throw out a video and you fight with other YouTubers on getting the top spot, which can be quite silly sometimes.
In some ways, that can also be really stressful.
It is very, very stressful. Yeah. That's why I brought it up, because I think it's important that YouTube is, I mean, if you're doing YouTube to create mainly a primary income and have it as a job, then yes, do videos like as soon as the game is released and
or before.
Try to do only that. Or yeah, exactly, before, when you have the chance to. But if you do YouTube because you love games and you love enjoying it in the community and around that, it's important to also play games that you like. And there's always going to be people out there that do like this game, and I'm seeing this with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, because the first episode of and the following afterwards get actually consistent views now every day. Even though the video is not listed on my channel anymore, my feed doesn't get that anymore. That's just natural stuff that comes through search because people still look up the game, and that will generate views over the long haul, and a lot of watch time, because once someone is invested, they watch a 30-minute episode, they binge watch that stuff, and
then they go to your playlist and watch all the other 30-minute episodes.
I just want to make sure that it's a very long point that I'm making for it's a very long talk for a very short point. I think it's important to note that there's also other ways to grow on YouTube. You don't have to always have the newest, but the chances are of course higher when you get viral with a big game that just got released. But you can grow with crowd pleasers or classics that people love and look up and want to see a Let's Play on. So that's the whole point.
Relating, I mean, my point about timing, which everything you said, absolutely 100% agree. But timing isn't just, like for the people listening, timing is not just being the first. If any of you have read the YouTube playbook, there are these things they call tentpole events, where, for example, a great example you brought up, Roller Coaster Tycoon, you posted a series, or are you still continuing that series?
Yeah, it's still running.
So you're continuing to post videos on an old Roller Coaster Tycoon game that came out a long time ago, but they're making a new one, which is gaining a lot of traction. So the timing in this case isn't being the first of the game, obviously, but it's also posting content of an old game in a time where there's a new one coming out, which is why a lot of people are doing Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas Let's Plays. And true. Lazy Game Reviews is doing reviews on the original Fallout games and all this other Fallout merchandise and stuff. Tentpole events are like, Halloween's coming up. You know, back last month. Halloween's coming up, so let's do a bunch of scary games and horror marathons and stuff like that. That's about, that is very much related to timing. And so, I mean, in the past, it mattered more because I used to do a lot more impressions videos. But anytime there's a sale coming up on a game, or I don't even have to be the right time, but as long as I have good search traffic, the moment there's a new sale on a game, my video gets a huge spike because a lot of people are finding that video. So timing doesn't have to be being the first to a game or posting 30 episodes of Let's Play Fallout 4 and you stayed up 30 hours in a row to do that. It's just posting it at a smart time or having your video set up properly to grab traffic during some of these important moments, like Roller Coaster Tycoon being posted during a good time, or posting a bunch of what was it? I'm trying to remember what I was. My old Mirror's Edge Let's Play got a ton of traffic because once they announced Mirror's Edge Cataclysm back at I think last E3, I noticed a huge jump in all my search traffic for that. And all that stuff is like, so it's not even timing in terms of, there's like, what am I trying to say? Like active timing, like you actually working to time it properly. And then there's also taking advantage of those events that happen throughout the year is also important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that made any sense.
Yeah.
No,
With
no, that
regards
makes
to
sense. I agree.
Fallout 4, I am extremely interested in how YouTube will work around that.
What do you mean?
Fallout 4 is going to be huge.
Why would they need to work around anything?
Well,
Yeah, Josh.
like, not work around, just like how the current system will
like
sort
compensate?
shit out. Yeah, just,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, there's going to be so many story videos and just plain old Let's Plays and all sorts. It's going
Even
to be...
I want to do a Let's Play
Yeah.
of it. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Pretty much any bigger channel that is somewhat in that will do a Let's Play of this.
much.
And I don't
by the
even
way,
care. This
small
is a game that
channels.
I like.
Small channels. If you want to get views on Fallout 4, don't bother. Just Let's Play it if you want to Let's Play it. It's not a place where you can compete.
that is a very important topic too. I think is there are some games that are just Minecraft channel, don't just it's not because I mean if you want to do it, if you really love Minecraft and you want to do videos on it, do that, but don't expect to rank anywhere. And of course, ranking isn't the only thing to gain traffic. You also get a lot of browse traffic once you're bigger. If you're small, you rely so much on that SEO, and you're not gonna rank anywhere near Minecraft. That thing is so locked down. Same goes with Fallout 4. There's gonna be tons of content. Many YouTubers have the game already and creating content for it out there. They're gonna be faster than you.
Review copies went out like a week and a half ago. So if a big channel that has 1 million subscribers, they probably
already have like 10, 20 episodes tied down.
Yeah, they are. Here's the reality of it. They probably already played 100 hours of it, have 300 videos uploaded, and they're going to publish all of them right when it launches. So don't expect to go anywhere with that. But here's, when we're talking about small channels, this is really key. And this comes up a lot when people ask me, or I see it on Reddit, like, I can't get any views, but they're doing games that came out a long time ago that no one even cared about when they launched. They don't do any interesting titles. It's just, game XYZ part 3 in all lowercase. No,
of course.
The custom thumbnail is pretty much black with just text on it, which I'm guilty of, by the way. And then they don't do anything with the description. It's just, hey, subscribe here. And so, first of all, pretty much everything with that is incorrect. Don't do it unless you really, really like the game. Then it'll come through with the content, I think. But when you're starting out, search traffic and search terms are your bread and butter. That's because you don't get recommended by YouTube. YouTube will, as brutal as that sounds, not care about you. It will not
until you have about 1,000 subscribers
or more. Like the more, the better, I guess.
Yeah.
But YouTube cares about promoting videos that generate watch time. If you upload a video that has 10 views and 2 people watch the whole thing, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of retention because people will look at your video and like decide probably on a whim in a few seconds if they want to keep watching. If they don't really like it, they're going to trail off. Because you don't have that fan base yet. If you have that fan base, they will probably stick with a video longer and they will just want to watch whatever game it is because you're playing it. As weird as that is.
Yeah.
So you are really like dependent on ranking somewhere well. Like you want to make sure you get those SEOs terms down. Like you play an old game that some people care about, like let's say a popular adventure game is always good because people are going to look that up and like, man, I want to experience that again, but I don't have an old computer or I just, don't feel like playing it.
And nostalgia is very powerful SEO.
Yes, nostalgia is great. Yeah. It's great. Play some older games. I have still some adventures that are, since ever I did them with my horrible German accent, still doing well. Leisure Suit Larry 7, fantastic.
Check out his channel.
Favorite. Yeah,
in the
all the
description.
Horrible German accent. But yeah, you need that SEO.
Yeah. So, this is, since we're talking about Fallout and for small channels, here's So you may be thinking, all right, so I'm a small channel and I want to be successful with Fallout 4. Here's what you don't do. You don't do a Let's Play of it if the idea is to get views, because you're not going to get them. What you should be doing is doing unique content around Fallout 4. So let's say, even though you're probably not going to enjoy the game this way, try to play it a lot, get through it, and find interesting Easter eggs or find an interesting mission.
Or do a video on all the weapons available. Something that is going to take a ton of work.
Right.
Very likely.
And make a unique video, because then when you SEO the hell out of it, then your video is going to be the most relevant when people search for Fallout 4 energy weapons or Fallout 4 best armor or whatever. Your stuff is going to come up. And when your stuff comes up, people are going to watch it. And
we are talking specifically about YouTube here. There are other ways you can promote your stuff.
Yeah.
But that's also a lot of hard work. So we're going to stick to YouTube.
And I'm going to say it's not your best bet. If you're at a point where you need to really worry about SEO to be your bread and butter, chances are you're not going to have a big Twitter or Facebook or somewhat outlet. And even for me at my size, Twitter and Facebook, they help a little, but honestly, it doesn't make a difference if I post on there or not.
Yeah, those other tools are really useful when you already have followers, because if you don't have followers, then they're of no purpose. Basically, you kind of grow on YouTube, and then you use those other tools to help maximize the following that you do have, is probably how I describe it. So make something unique about it. Don't go for the general terms, because the people with like eons of watch hours are gonna... That's not to say you can't get lucky, but don't expect that to work. Fallout 4 is one of the most anticipated games in the last 10 years, next to Skyrim. And here's even a more mind-bending point about YouTube. YouTube is just over 10 years old. And YouTube as a job is probably 5 years old, 6 years old. So
sounds about right.
So you thought Skyrim was a really hyped game for YouTube. Skyrim was 4 years ago. No, wait. Yeah, 4 years ago, right? 2011.
Yeah, I think so.
And that was really difficult. So imagine 4 years later, Fallout 4 on YouTube, like the first or second most viewed site on the planet. You just...
Not even I want to do a Let's Play of it anymore.
It's
now that I think about it.
It's going to be the biggest gaming SEO event on the face of the planet.
I'm just hoping that, my followers, chances are the people that would watch Fallout 4 are going to have Fallout 4 themselves. Yeah. I mean, the chances are, and there's, of course, there's going to be people that don't have it and that would love to play it. But chances are these people will just watch the big ones. They will just look Fallout 4 Let's Play in the search bar. And you never, ever in a million years, unless you have a ton of subscribers, will rank for that search term. Not even I already know I'm going to be 5 pages away from top spot. SEO is pretty much pointless for me.
If you're not in the top 5, you're not seen. Because people look at the top 5. That's the whole point of it.
You can't. What you can try. Well, I mean, what you can try is to clickbait, but people are gonna hate you for it.
Yeah.
And you can. I mean, I do
and
it on a regular basis.
if you're using clickbait, you might as well put the work in and do one of those specialist videos. My goodness, you won't believe what this energy weapon does,
and then you actually won't.
Yeah,
yes. And then it's worth it.
It'll be mind blown as people's heads explode.
Yeah,
literally.
So also, just you can be proud of your work. That's the point.
Yeah,
true.
That's important.
That too.
So be unique. Every single time people say it, content is king.
Yes,
it is. all these other tricks are just for maximizing, making your good content be seen. But you can't make bad content.
Well, it's important to know that I grew to 148,000 subscribers by sub for sub, obviously. I mean 146,000 of those are sub for sub. And because I've been posting all of these comments in the videos, I'm always the same, spamming the same comment over and over again.
Yeah, post on Weasel's video sub for sub. And you'll be at 150,000 subscribers in no time.
Yeah, don't do that, people. Just don't do that.
It doesn't. First of all, it doesn't work, and people will hate you.
No one will like you.
They will
and
hate
you'll
you.
get
Yes, nobody will take you
spammed.
serious.
And it doesn't work.
If you write in a comment, please sub for me, I'm just gonna laugh.
Hide user from channel.
It's like, yes, something like that. No, I mean, it's still engagement. I'm gonna like leave your comment there and just gonna like chuckle at it and talking about like things not to do.
And then twirl your mustache.
Yes.
This person cannot be heard from again.
I have a little blog post about starting YouTube, and that stuff. Why did I post it in the chat again? I'm silly. That post is, I don't know how many that is, like 25 tips or something. Very short and concise that will like help you a little bit. And I figured, why not plug that here?
It'll be in the description if you're interested.
Yes, and it is very important. Yeah, listen to tips, like legitimately listen to them. When someone tells you to, like, you should really try to improve your commentary. Just don't nod and do the same thing again. Just actually like sit down and think what you can improve or stuff like that.
Don't say, hey guys, I'm looking for help, but I think my content's fine. If the one thing you say is, but I think my content's fine, so don't worry about it, that's the first thing we're going to be telling you about.
And please don't send me a private message on YouTube asking me what you can do better with your video. It's obviously you're trying to get clicks, and I'm not clicking it. Leave me alone.
There's loads of resources on the internet. There's plenty of blogs that want you to visit them that give you actual useful information.
Like mine.
Yeah. So, I think that was a solid, interesting conversation. Yes, Josh?
Yeah, I was just going to say, shall we finish off with games we've played, like actual real video games and not fictional...
What, those things?
Futuristic Fallout 4 SEO problems that we're never going to have to deal with.
What are video games?
Sure. Sounds good.
Well, what did you play, Josh?
Good question. Downwell.
Oh, yeah.
My limited amount of time, I haven't made any videos on this or anything, but I've been enjoying Downwell. It's quick.
Downwell. How do you write that?
That's Devolver, right?
Down well, but as one word without.
Okay,
like a well with water.
Yeah.
That goes down.
And down the direction.
DOYNE.
$2.99 on Steam right now, in case anyone cares. Yes, it's for $2.99 on Steam, and very positive with 444 reviews.
I mean, there's no reason not to be incredibly positive about it because it's fun. It's super slick because all you do is fall. It's a 2D platformer, so like with pixel art. So in that instant descriptor is going to turn off 100 odd people. But,
it is like NES pixel art, and it legitimately looks like good old NES times.
Yeah, it looks like an indie game retro style that was made by somebody who's played old games. Not somebody who just puts
it was made by 3 people.
A pixel effect on their stuff.
Yeah, the main designer is a Japanese guy who was just making it by himself in his basement for a year or so. I can't remember.
That's always good.
Yeah,
I like the limited color palette.
And then everyone was like, "Oh, this thing's kind of cool, actually." And then Devolver picked it up and published it, and now it's doing quite well, I think. Which
looks really good.
Yeah, I've heard great stuff.
It's very entertaining.
It's also available for iOS, so if you want to pick it up there, that might be a very good title for it.
Yeah, and I personally think it's better on iOS.
What?
Especially like on the iPhone 6. I don't know, because it's one of the few games that has good on-screen buttons, as well as the fact it just...
But it has to be an iPhone 6, right? It has to be an iPhone 6?
Yeah, just probably, but I've never tried it on one of the other previous versions, but it probably runs better
an iPhone 2
in general. Because everything.
I'm pretty sure it will run on other iPhones as well. Fine.
Yeah.
If you're one of those few people that have one,
I can't wait to play this.
I don't know how to
8K.
Okay, I can sell this game to you in one word.
Okay.
gun boots.
I don't know what that word
All right,
means.
it's in my cart.
okay. Oh,
gun
It's in my cart
boots.
on
Oh,
Steam.
it's like a weapon?
Gun boots. Yeah, that's as you're falling, you shoot bullets out of your boots and bounce on top of enemies, and that's how you get high scores and kill stuff.
All right,
Gun boots.
Josh,
Yeah.
I just bought it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm adding it to my cart too.
I'm so good at this.
I might get it later.
And
I'm
installed.
actually excited for my Steam Link to hopefully come soon. I'm very excited about that one.
You going to go with?
What are you going to be playing with that? Do you have the controller as well?
The controller comes December. That thing is like on hold. Like they're, probably still producing masses of it. But no,
I got
the
my
Steam Link, you can attach your
controller.
Xbox controller to it. Yes, I know you have one.
Sorry.
I'm mad, Jelly.
I don't use it.
That's fine. I just got it later. Yeah. So I'm excited for Steam Link, and then I'm probably gonna play that on the TV. That's like a game that I want to play on my couch. That's
Yeah.
cool game. Thanks for the recommendation.
You are welcome.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid.
It's a lot of fun. And even if you're awful at it, it's really quick to just restart and mess around.
And it's $2.99. It's not a big risk. I do appreciate cheap indie games like that because you're not running at a high risk. Like $10 can be a lot of money.
Yeah.
For a game like that, I would not spend
For
$10
some people,
on
that's
this.
like 2 meals. So
Yes. For me, that's a meal. Depending what I
wow,
eat,
what a
it can be up.
rich.
It can be up to 3 depending what I eat. So,
And personally, I would say this is a game that might have ended up as $10, but seeing as it's 2, I mean, it fits with how things get priced on the iOS store, and also, it might be a game you play for 100 hours or 10 minutes, depends on how you feel about it. So really,
I do
it's
like the fact,
win-win.
I do like that it's cheaper. I really like cheaper indie games because there's this impulse buy. What I think also a few indie games need. I mean, I understand that you put, like, as a developer, I understand you put hundreds and hundreds of hours of work into your game, but people might not be willing to pay $15 for your pixel art platformer. That's just, there's a few out there. You gotta give me an incentive, and if I can't pick up a game for like, $2, $3, maybe $4, then I'm more willing to just buy it and, probably never play it.
Yeah,
because that's what I do.
I think pricing is a really tricky thing for independent developers, and it's sort of. I remember listening to a podcast about. I listened to a lot of economic podcasts, and one of them was wanting to launch their own shirts with a design, and they were thinking about what to price them at, and then the whole show was about kind of that economy of scale, and they went into software, and it was like, yeah, you spent a year on this piece of software, it cost you X amount of dollars overall if you include your time. But if you sell it for like $50, yeah, you're getting your money's back. But that's if 100 people buy it. But once you hit 100 people or whatever, suddenly that's all fully profit. But you can draw in way more people if you sold it for 20, and then you may get 10 times the amount of people that buy it. And so it's kind of that really weird balance for some games where Downwell might have cost, to a point where they should have sold it for $10 or something, but they may get, a couple thousand people to buy it for $3, and it could do better overall. It's kind of that thing. It's kind of that thing with iPhone apps, like, or just apps in general. Like, yeah, this app is really worth, $5, I think that's fair. But if you sell it for 99 cents, loads of people are more likely to buy it.
The App Store market is still like that. The only reason the Steam market in it to a point like hasn't deteriorated to something like, let's say, the iOS market or Android market is because there are still these full price titles on there that kind of keep keep it sane.
Yeah.
On iOS, as developer for years, it's it started very early on, and pretty much if you're an indie dev and you have like a title and not a big marketing budget under there, like selling your game for $4.99, unless it's really, really, really fantastic and is really well presented, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of like luck there. I mean, that's why so many people opt for free and then in-app monetization, because that initial hurdle to go get over to get someone to download your game is way lower when it's free. They just will download and check it out. There's no risk involved, and then maybe spend money after if you got them hooked is way better than getting them to buy a game for like, let's say $4.99.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of money for a lot of people. And the problem is not that your game is not worth it. The problem is more or less that you got someone like EA and whatever the other all big publishers releasing their super awesome polished title for $1 or even less, or for free because they can.
And they know because they have branding behind it, a lot of people are going to be interested in getting it.
Yes, and it's all about exposure.
This is a whole other topic I could go into, but basically, the bottom line is that the App Store is currently a mess, and Apple are trying to fix it.
Are you speaking through your hands like this or something?
Yeah, maybe. Yes, I spent the last 2 months fighting with this problem. So yes, the App Store is a mess. Apple are trying to fix it by promoting mostly premium titles, which I think is nice because that way people pay once and then get a thing and own it forever and ever until their license runs out or whatever. and then they don't have the problem of like a few whales, which is a horrible term for people that spend lots and lots of money. Like
it is a legit term, and it is they're important for games like these.
It's both the fact that they're important, and it's also bad because out of, say, 100,000 players, it'll be less than 10,000 people who are keeping this entire app afloat because they have so much money, and also because they just compulsively spend it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of manipulative and below board and dodgy, and a shame. So I think Apple are avoiding a bad rap.
Yeah.
As well as just, trying to make more money. Anyway, what have you been playing?
Weasel?
I've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 recently because it is on my channel, and
really?
I decided to play because I really like the game. I mean, I've mentioned that before. So, but other than that, what I've been playing is actually I played my first pinball game yesterday in years, many years, at least 15 years, I want to say. I have not played a pinball game since Windows had a pinball game in it. I don't even know which version that was. 95? Frick if I know.
think it was Windows Me.
Possibly.
No, I remember one on 95.
Really?
There might have been. I don't know.
It was the one with the spaceship in it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Windows
you.
Pinball. It is called Full Tilt Pinball.
Oh, Full Tilt.
Yeah.
I think the one I was thinking was Space Cowboy Pinball or something like that.
Possibly. I hope.
Now I gotta know.
Classic 3D Pinball Space Cadet.
Yeah, Space Cadet.
Game. Yeah,
that's what I remember.
I do. It was on Windows 2000, but God, it is beautiful. I'm gonna link a picture in the chat just so you guys can have a look at it and bask in its glory. Maybe you can put it in the description just so people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I played.
Ugly picture on the side. Beautiful. I mean, I had a lot of hours of fun with that, but never touched a pinball game after that. And I don't know how I got on that video or if it was a mail from a press release, but I got for Pinball FX 2, which is I think free, the base game, a pinball game on Steam, very well made. It's called Balls of Glory, and Balls of Glory contains
Balls,
American Dad table, Family Guy table, Archer table, and a Bob's Burger table. And I really like free to. I actually like all of them, but they're surprisingly well made and are a lot of fun to play. Have a lot of voice acting in them and animation, and they're just really fun. I just like, wow, this looks really cool, and I just bought it on a whim and started playing it. And I'm having a surprising amount of fun with a pinball game. No offense to pinball gamers. I mean, I'm just saying I was not prepared for how much I would enjoy it, and I actually got it for the PlayStation 4 now because it's also on PSN, also on iOS and Android. I got it for that because I want to play it on the couch, and yeah, that's what I've been playing, which is very surprising for me. I'm finding entertainment in games that I didn't think would entertain me that much.
I feel like pinball is one of those old type of games that, like Pong, sort of like you moved away from, thinking, oh, we're so much more advanced now.
Yeah.
But then I remember a few years ago, this was quite a long time ago, but I remember my brother getting an Atari from a Goodwill, and we played it. And, you know, this was an original, well, not original, but it was an actual Pong. It wasn't like, you know, Pong, Super Deluxe, whatever. It was just the cartridge said Pong.
Good old.
And we played it for like 2 hours, and we had so much fun playing it. And it's just like, you know, if you play tennis, and it's enjoyable to play typically. And there's a competitive aspect to it, but it's like a lot of these older concepts for games like pinball didn't stop being fun.
It is a ton of fun.
We just sort of forgot how fun they were.
And it's really well made. Like, you know, the camera pans around and the animations are great. Like stuff that you can now do, like put a lot of detail in it and make it really complex and well running, is fantastic. And you don't need a like insane computer to play this, and it looks really good. But yeah, what you're saying is actually really interesting with the old concepts, because we get deterred like just by how a game looks so much. Like you look at an old game, you're like, I don't know if this would be fun. And granted, a lot of old games didn't figure out the whole like easing a player into the game, and you know, like presenting it in a way where they have fun right off the bat. Now, games back then were hard, like because you bought a game for $50 back then, and you were playing this for the next weeks. There was no like, I'm going to go on the Steam sale, I'm going to pick up 5 other games and see what's fun, or, you know, something like that.
It was also like, let's wait a month and see what comes out then.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's buy a PC game or whatever was popular then in the US.
30 games weren't coming out every day.
Yeah, exactly. Now you have this like insane supply. But yeah, a lot of games still can be fun. Just because it's an old school game, you should not, you should try it. A lot of platform. Oh, and I played 20XX. I think I should definitely mention that because I wanted to do a video on it, but I kind of did not because I screwed up my audio. 20XX is a platformer, and yes, platformers on Steam. I have a few of those.
What are those?
I've never heard of them. Yeah, platformers are a little bit like overkill, but this one is actually really well made, like hand-drawn animations, and it definitely feels very Mega Man-esque. I mean, even the main character looks a little bit like that.
That sounds familiar. 20XX.
20XX, yeah.
I might have gotten an email about that.
Yeah, it's procedurally, somewhat procedurally generated levels, and it works really well, and it just plays so good. It's hard to explain, but a lot of platformers suffer is just not very well designed controls. Yes, the character can jump and he can.
It has controls.
Double jump. Exactly, it has controls, but like making platform controls like really good is like an art form, I feel, and takes a lot of like balancing. And they did a really good job. That's what I've been playing. So
yeah, I think most of us can say we get a lot of platformers sent to us, whether just press releases or keys. And for platformers, I can know if I'm out of controls pretty quickly. And 9 out of 10 times, they just don't feel right. And that's a lot of the fun, is like you want to feel like you're in control, or there's a certain level of satisfaction from pulling off some sort of tricks. But a lot of times people call it floaty, right? But you don't, like, it's averaged out, the input, or there's something like that just doesn't feel right. But when a game has really sharp controls, it's just satisfying to move around a lot of times. Like even classic Mario games. I have Mario on my Game Boy Color, And I'll play that because the controls feel so good, even though the buttons are really mushy.
God, the old controls. I'm now thinking of an NES controller. Ergonomics.
What were those back then?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the thought. There's like these like videos. What is it? Teens react to or elders react to. I wonder if there's a teens react to NES controller or Atari controllers, like old
I bet
controllers.
there is. I think
There should
no,
be.
there is 100% a video of teens react to the NES.
There's teens react to everything, and
Yeah.
and in some cases some quite dark videos about that.
Really?
Yeah. I won't spoil anything, but yeah, you can find some quite variety on on those channels.
On YouTube.com.
/teens. Wait. That's a wrong channel. So, Weasel.
What have you been playing?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Not much. I have been playing. I have gone back into Counter-Strike because there was the recent DreamHack, and I'm not very good at that game comparatively to the professionals. Shocker.
What?
But I feel like Counter-Strike is sort of, it's half strategy, right? And then it's half actual independent or individual reflex and skill. And I feel like a lot of those reflexes and stuff are things that I've always kind of been okay with, and those translate a lot because I still play a lot of Battlefield. And so being able to, accurately shoot is something that is a skill that you just kind of attain, and then it just sort of stays with you for a while, I think. But the strategies of knowing where... What was that?
Sorry, that was my phone telling me it's gonna die because it doesn't have enough battery. I'm sorry.
All right, let's restart the podcast, everybody. But the strategies of like knowing exactly where to be, where to look, where to throw that flash or that smoke to get in the right spot. I just recently watched a video where this guy showed like 35 different places you throw a smoke grenade just on Inferno. And it was insane. Like all the different ways it bounced around corners and stuff. But yeah, a lot of the strategy and stuff are things that I often forget and have to relearn. I would like to get back into competitive with that though, and it's changed a lot.
Really?
Since it was released, obviously, but even since I can speak. Ever since we last played it, I guess earlier in the year maybe.
Yeah.
They changed competitive again, I think, because I remember we played it a lot, and we were ranked. It only took, I think it was 2 games, right, to get ranked? Or no, it was 10 games, 10 wins to get ranked. But you can only do 10. I can speak. You can only...
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. But you could only win 2 games a night or per day or something like that. Like you could lose a bunch of games.
Yeah.
But you couldn't actually win to kind of slow people down. And then I remember a couple months ago, Dre was doing a 24-hour stream, and he said, "Hey, you want to play Counter-Strike?" I said, yes. We were going into competitive, and then, hey, you need like 100 games of casual to be ranked now. And they actually unranked people.
Wow. 100.
It was something crazy like that, and it was just like, no, I'm not. And so I uninstalled it, and I came back to it, and it seems that I'm ranked again. Maybe it was a glitch or something.
100 is a little brutal. I mean, maybe they've been ranking up because people were just like buying new accounts and just getting into it real quick, so they wanted to deter that behavior. But yeah, you're pretty much annihilating anyone else.
But it was, if I'm completely honest, the Counter-Strike Global Offensive ranked system is confusing, and it's not very intuitive to a new player, if I'm honest. So I could have misinterpreted what I was reading. But I did play some casual in that, and it was fun, but I can only play it for a few rounds before I'm just, I can't take this anymore.
Hate yourself.
I'm so done. And then I have to get off.
I feel you.
Just, yeah. What else did I play?
I can play a surprising amount of Counter-Strike when I'm winning.
Yeah. Well, I think
I've
most
never
people would
experienced
prefer
that.
to. I think most people would prefer to win. And I was about to start playing The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which I got end of last year, and I was finally going to stream it. And I only played half an hour or something. Obviously, so I can't really review much on it, but it makes sense that it looks incredibly beautiful. I think most people you will talk to will say that it's quite a looker of a game. Runs really nice too, considering all that stuff. But I guess most of it is baked in.
Yeah, it is. But Unreal Engine is incredibly effective. I mean, the park is also Unreal Engine, and it's amazing what you can run on that thing.
And you had played Vanishing of Ethan Carter, right?
Yeah, I played it on my channel.
You played the original version?
I think so. Is there a new version?
There's the Vanishing of Ethan Carter Redux, and that was ported to Unreal 4.
Oh no, I have not played that one. That must be bloody beautiful, because Vanishing of Ethan Carter on the Unreal Engine 3, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I see the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I'm just checking that out right now. There's a Redux.
The new one, right?
Oh, I guess it's just an update.
Yeah,
so.
It's sort of. I mean, I guess they took the naming similar to
Metro.
Yeah, Metro, where it's just sort of, it's a facelift. They improved the lighting and some of the options and gave it some more technical prowess and stuff like that. But I was hoping to stream that this weekend. Unfortunately, some things came up and I wasn't able to do that. I had to go into work Thursday, which kind of threw things off. But I hope to play that, and pretty much, I think that's all I did. Oh, and Sakura Clicker.
Oh.
Yeah. But besides that, everything is...
I see people on that on Steam all the time, and I still don't know what it is.
You
clicker,
click on barely clothed anime girls.
That then moan.
And they go, oh.
I'm sold.
And then coins come out of their breasts.
Oh my goodness.
Out of the breasts. Why not?
Sometimes, like, a treasure chest will come out of them.
Out of the chest.
And then you click on the chest and more coins come out of the chest.
Why do I still play Adventure Capitalist?
I don't know, Weasel.
I'm missing out. I'm clearly... I put 50 hours into that, and that's just time where I had the window actually open.
I did play The Long Dark again.
Oh, nice.
Which I had played it right when it went on early access. And I loved it then. And it was quite rough. But I remember the performance being just pretty awful. So I played it again. It's really well polished now.
Oh, it's beautiful. I've been covering the game for many seasons, and it is getting better and better. The interface is beautiful, and it got really big as well. Like, you get a lot to explore now.
And what I think I like more is just they really increase the variety of items that you can find and pick up, and things you can harvest and all that sort of stuff. So it makes it, I think it makes the difficulty system. I mean, I don't know how they changed kind of the default difficulty. I just remember it being sort of like, well, we have to balance it like this because you have to be pushed to do things, right?
Yeah.
You can't just stock up on a bunch of meat and water and live in a cabin for the next 60 hours as much as you would love to.
So they can now.
But you know what I mean? Like, they had to create a system that would cause people to have to go out and take risks and stuff. But now that you can find little, not supplies, but like you can use a lot of stuff around you that otherwise wasn't available. Like, I don't know when this was introduced, but you can use your hatchet on furniture now and just get wood.
That actually like a month ago, I want to say, or 2 months ago.
Which seems really, it's a really interesting system. I mean, just that one thing, because it's a choice between, this is furniture that I could use, or I could not freeze to death. You know, depending on
the furniture, you can't use chairs, so there's not a reason to not chop them down. But it takes more time, and it's just like reclaimed wood. So
true. There's
definitely choices in there. But what I'm personally looking forward to, and that's why I haven't been playing it recently. Some people are really upset at that. is because I'm really waiting for, and they want to introduce it, and I hope they do, is the willpower meter. And I would love to see something like that, because that is such an important part of survival. And right now you can do so many things that are just, you wouldn't necessarily want to do as a survivor. And, you know, this thing where it doesn't matter if you eat what you eat. It doesn't matter if you know, stay awake or not.
Calories, right? It's
exactly.
not like if I drink only soda for a week, I'm probably not going to feel that great. So I'm probably
you're not going to feel great. Just like, you do something nice, or just, you know, if you just go out when it's dark, like it is such an important part of survival that I feel like this game would be like even better with that. Also, the story mode is going to be great. That is definitely something I'm going to do Let's Play of when that eventually hits, because I really want to know what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Like, Hinterland is the studio, right?
Yes.
Them and the Prison Architect devs and Kerbal Space Program, and there was another one, can't remember. But like those are like the poster children of like how to do early access right, because The Long Dark has come a long way, and even when it released, it was still like a competent game, which is really important. Like when some of the times when I looked at the Black Shell games, which again I regret doing, like often you could boil down almost all my criticisms to this is not even far enough along to put on early access. Like what you did would be like
it's something you put on Game Jolt and would get downrated to hell.
Yeah, or the type of game you just released on early access for money is something that would come out of a game jam. And then a typical team would say, hey, we got this great idea for a game jam game. Now let's make it a full game. And and I was really mean to a lot of games, and I thought that would be fun, but in the end, it wasn't.
Just depressing.
Yeah, especially when a developer came back to me and said, you know what? You're absolutely right. You know, your video really told us about the things we needed to work on, those other things, and they were really nice, and it just made me feel terrible. So maybe if I'm really depressed, I will just unlist all those videos eventually. But
it's okay. I think it's nothing wrong with pointing out a flawed product. I mean, if you go out there and just throw out something for money, and that is a grab for money. You just release a ton of games and you will make money. I mean, that's a concept you see a lot on the App Store, where someone will make 50 apps, and yes, they might not make a lot of money, but if each one makes $1 a day, that's already like $1,500 a month. I mean. So
and it's one of those things where intent plays a huge role.
Kids, it doesn't work on YouTube all the time. That doesn't work.
Wait, what?
You're not the rat brat.
Wait, what?
No, I was saying, like, don't do that on YouTube, kids. Don't release a lot of videos in the hopes that will get you a lot of views. You're not the rat brat.
Yeah. No. Is he still doing stuff?
Oh yeah, he's doing, like, his views are insane. Like you he doesn't grow like as much for the views he got, but the rat brat, I mean, the views are just like flabbergasting. He has 42 million views a month.
He used to be on a forum I moderated many years ago. He was assuming the Rad Brad is the same person.
Yeah, he has like 6 million subs.
He was big into Halo montages and
or 5
frag videos and stuff like that. And then he fell off the face of the planet. Suddenly, he's like a 1 million subscriber channel doing Let's Plays.
He is a 5 million subscriber YouTube channel.
He's the self-proclaimed king of YouTube walkthroughs.
Oh yeah, BRB quitting YouTube. just gonna quit after I post this video. But yeah, intent. What I was gonna say is intent. I think it can be really important in some of these games. Like if someone's just like, yeah, I just, spent a week on this. I'm going to put it up for sale on Greenlight or whatever. And it does get through because they promise keys or something. That's pretty scummy. But
Grass Simulator.
But if a game, actually does have a really interesting system behind it, even though it looks unpolished, but they actually do update it, month after month or week after week for a long time.
Yeah.
Like Prison Architect was I think to most people it seemed really basic, but they already. I remember one of their launch videos of it, the recent launch, not when they put it on early access, and they said they had already put like 3 hours in, or sorry, not 3 hours, like 2 or 3 years into the game before it was put on early access, and so they wanted to be a solid kind of baseline game that people could play before they were able to pay for it. And so how you do that launch on early access can really set the tone for how people interpret your product.
It's crazy. I think that a lot of games out there, like Grass Simulator, really, it was... then there's the argument like, well, it's a commentary on the green light. Like, no, you just promised people keys, and yes, you circumvented the system, and you released a piece of shit. Congratulations, we were very proud of you. Yes, it was
job.
horrible.
It's out there now.
Yes, exactly. Good
away.
job.
Claps all around.
But yeah, I think early access. I have several early access titles on my list that just get abandoned. And I do feel that if you get the opportunity to be on Steam with early access titles and you just abandon the game should automatically be taken from the store after a while.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a finished game. Your statement is like, okay, we released a game that is not done and we didn't finish it and we're not finishing it. And
it also like I think I'm not saying like, yeah, you should be posting a patch every month because some systems and games do take a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there should be some sort of automated system
and
where
communication.
If there's no progression on Steam's side, maybe temporarily take the game off sale.
Yeah.
Kind of as an automatic measure so that
That's automatic. You have outstayed your welcome.
Exactly.
Please take your terrible, awful rubbish off of.
Whoa,
Steam.
Josh.
Yeah.
Having emotions here.
Sorry, I'll watch my mouth from now on. I'll not use those naughty words.
And that's not like, not to take money away from the developer or not to take it from people's libraries, but just sort of like a preventative measure. I mean, in some ways, it's protecting Steam as well from like having to do a bunch of refunds or having to deal with a lot of massive PR headaches, which they love to deal with, by the way. They just love people hating them, it seems.
I don't think they deal with any of it, do they? They just ignore most of it.
They let it get really bad, and then they send Gabe onto Reddit. And then he says, yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Let's keep buying our games, bruh. Yeah, some sort of automated system to keep developers not like on their toes, because there's a fine line in how you describe it, but some sort of like, you have to
keep them on their toes. Like I do not have a problem. You're going onto Steam with the promise of
I didn't mean it like scare them, but keep them aware.
On their toes. I mean, on their toes is not necessarily scared, is it? I don't know.
I'm so scared of toes.
I'm really into toes.
All right.
Oh, well.
So, anyway. I mean,
never mind.
No.
So I think that concludes our discussion.
This podcast.
Well, I think we're done with what we were talking about, right?
Toes.
I have nothing left in my brain right now.
That's bad.
We've emptied
That happens
the weasel.
regularly. Yes,
We've drained the weasel.
The WeaselZone is empty.
That does sound really bad. You drained the weasel. That does sound like,
I think that's actually
a
a phrase.
euphemism for having had a wee, right?
I'm just gonna, Urban Dictionary. Yeah, I mean, there's so much on. Yes, Dictionary of Sexual Terms. Drain the weasel.
I'm gonna drain the weasel.
Yes.
Yay.
Drain the
urinate.
Weasel Simulator 2015.
Set off and buy mails.
So, let's conclude. Weasel at WeaselZone. His link will be in the description as well as an annotation. So, Weasel, what do you have? You said you're doing Roller Coaster Tycoon right now.
Yes.
3, I believe.
Yes.
Anything else coming up?
Apparently not Fallout 4. I don't know yet. But coming up is I'm actually trying to figure that out. What I'm gonna do next. I'm still figuring that out.
You didn't get a key for Fallout 4?
No, I didn't get a key.
Did you buy it yet?
I did not buy it yet because I don't pre-purchase games. So.
Neither do I, but I did. So.
Well, I can still buy it on release. I mean, and there's going to be a lot of coverage out there where people say like it's an amazing game or it's a not as good game. I mean, it's going to be an amazing game. Bethesda game launches are usually fine. I'm just
wait, what?
Not.
Bethesda game launches are usually fine.
Well, did I miss?
No, Bethesda's known for their games being broken.
Oh,
like still.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I must have misremembered. Well,
I mean, to be fair, Bethesda's a publisher as well, but Bethesda Soft works. Like Bethesda developed games like Skyrim, Fallout 3. New Vegas wasn't really them. That was not Origin.
I think because I didn't buy these games at launch, I didn't experience all the bullshit. Yeah. So I might have have
those games
positive
have come a long
image.
way.
I don't think they're gonna botch up Fallout 4. It's too much anticipated. It's just if they botch it, that's gonna hurt.
I'm expecting there to be problems, but I'm also pretty optimistic.
Which is understandable for a game this size.
Yeah.
So
Josh, you're doing a Let's Play, and you said not much else, but do you have anything you're planning on posting soon?
I think for the moment I'm gonna go into just one-offs and finding cool, weird, and interesting indie games that people may or may not have heard of to play and show off and explore and just find new things for people. That's my current plan. Also, I've actually been lucky enough to play Fallout 4, so I'm not actually doing anything on my own channel for that, but the possibility remains that I might make something for it. So
you have Fallout 4?
Not personally, no. Oh. My friend does. She's a reviewer, and the embargo on the embargo is finished, so I'm actually allowed to tell you that.
Wait, what?
The embargo's off?
The embargo on the embargo is off, so I'm actually allowed to tell you that I've played Fallout 4, but I'm not allowed to show you Fallout 4 or tell you anything about it.
Oh, so
is
before
it good?
You weren't allowed to tell people that Fallout 4 actually exists, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
everyone, I'd like to confirm Fallout 4 is in fact
real
a game.
It's going to go in early access.
100% a game. Yeah.
It's going in Steam Greenlight.
90% game, 10% skins and trading cards. So
yeah, there's that too.
Because I'm totally copying the Co-optional podcast with this little exit thing, I don't really have anything specific, although I would like to continue my Cities Skylines Let's Play, which its signature feature is that it comes out every 15 days. I also have a Steam controller, which has gotten new firmware, thankfully, which adds some new options for customizing the controls and makes me figuring out how I want to control the game much easier. So I'd like to actually try out non-Steam games. I was going to do Minecraft because I can't escape Minecraft on my channel, but I want to see if I can add that to to Steam in order to use the Steam controller API thing to get that working. These podcasts, for the most part, are weekly. So far, two episodes in. I guess we've only had 1 week delay for right now, first to second episode. So this will go up Sunday or so. Besides that, I don't know. I actually wanted to do more of those kind of one-off impressions videos because they're pretty simple to do.
They're fun as well.
Yeah, if I'm in a good mood. If I'm not, then it comes through. I still, for some reason, get sent Black Shell games, so I thought I would try doing some more of those in a much more...
You're not blacklisted by them?
Black Shell have not blacklisted me yet.
Black Shell does not care. It's publicity. Black Shell just will throw stuff at you, and some of it will stick. Some of it
They send me 2 copies of every game.
Yes, me too. Like I get 2 mails every time. I don't know why. Yeah. It's weird.
I have them permanently spam blocked. I just don't get this shit anymore. It's so good.
They have sent me 2 good games, Galicide and Dungeon Souls, which were diamonds in the rough. I'll put it that way. But everything else was rough. So I think that's pretty much all I have going on. Obviously, I'm very, very excited for Fallout 4. My intention is basically to do technical videos. Occasionally there are some big games and people will do videos where they show like all the different quality settings and different tweaks and stuff like that. That, on a personal note, is kind of my bread and butter. I test all that stuff out just for my own sake. So I thought I will try to do a video showing all the different settings and their performance impact
please.
And all sorts of stuff like that. Maybe even tweaks, because assuming it's the same creation engine, because Bethesda can't update their engine very much. They certainly do slap a new coat of paint on it. Fallout 4 looks way better than Skyrim, so I'm excited for that. But the little sorts of tweaks you can do in the INI files, I'm interested in doing. So that will probably be a video Tuesday evening, maybe Wednesday, assuming I don't have work next week. And that's all I have going up. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks to Weasel from WeaselZone and Josh from GamingFTL for joining me. This is the YouTube Shop Talk, but if you have an idea for a new name, please suggest it. We're open to new ideas. And that's all from us. Thank you for listening.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Ba-doom.
That went well.